I believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear them. So come with me as we take a walk down Fascination Street. Hey guys, you know how much I love 5-4, which is now Menlo Club. Remember, I've been a member for over 2 years now, and I love them. Well, I got together with the folks at Menlo Club, and they're offering my listeners a 50% off plus a free pair of 5-4 sunglasses. Menlo Club is great clothes. They come to your door every month. It's $60. That includes tax. That includes shipping. You get to select your sizes, your styles. It's really super easy. And like I said, the clothes are great. So go to menloclub.com. Sign up, use the promo code FSP, as in Fascination Street Podcast, and you will get 50% off your first month plus a free pair of 5-4 sunglasses. Thanks, guys.
What if Michael Jordan played one secret pickup game in summer 1996 to pay off a debt so big it would get him banned from the NBA for life? What if that game was played on a private court in Malta, and Jordan's parting gift was a jewel-encrusted pair of Jordan 11s, a pair of kicks so special and rare that they could be worth millions, if they actually exist? Follow Jack Palms on a hunt from San Francisco to Hawaii and back across the country to New York City as he tracks the only person who knows the truth about these sneakers, a felon who just skipped his bond to chase them. The mythical pair of sneakers that can only go by one name, the Maltese Jordans. Seth Harwood presents his next novel. Subscribe today at patreon.com/Seth Harwood.
Welcome back, guys. This episode is with Lili Bordan. She is a film, TV, and stage actress who works a lot in Hungary as well as here in America. She's been in some big movies that you know and have seen. She's in 3 movies that are currently out. We talk about all of that. Plus, we talk about what acting means to her and how it has afforded her the ability to travel the world. Enjoy, guys. Lili Bordan.
Yeah, talk to me, yeah.
Hello, is this Steve?
It is. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Lili. I want to welcome you to Fascination Street. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit and chat with me for a few minutes.
Thank you for having me on the show.
It is absolutely my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Lili Bordan, it is a pleasure to talk to you. I just saw Book Club on Friday, opening night.
Oh, great. Thanks for going out and supporting.
It was a really cute movie. My wife, when we were going, she was like, oh, I wanted to see Book Club. And I said, well, let's go. When we got there, she was like, wait, why do you want to see this movie? This is like a rom-com. Why do you want to see it? But it was really sweet. We had a good time. I liked it a lot.
It's a feel-good movie. It's a nice date movie, actually.
It really is a nice date movie. And I don't know if you've seen it in theaters. I'm going to assume you haven't. It was getting oh, good. Where I saw it, it was getting a really good response. Like, people were laughing and talking, and it was a really fun movie.
Was the theater pretty full?
Yes. Now, we saw it, I think it was like 6:15 or something, so it was a little bit early, but the theater was probably about 75 or 80% full.
Yeah, so I think most theaters had, when they open a movie, I was looking at this, they have like 5 screenings of that movie.
Right.
So the first weekend is super important, and so that's probably not the busiest time to go, but people who went like at the later times, they said, like, when one of my friends was like, well, we wanted to see that, but we couldn't get in, so we had to go see Deadpool. Which I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Wow, that's really cool.
That's great. That's great news. Yeah. They were worried about opening that same weekend. And I haven't checked the box office numbers yet, but I think they did pretty well, so I think they're happy.
Well, I think that your friend's quote needs to go on the movie poster.
Which one is that?
Your friend's...
Oh, yes. Yeah. We couldn't get into book club, so we had to watch Deadpool.
That's really cool. So, I know that you don't have a whole lot of time, but how was camping at Red Rock?
Oh, wow. Thanks. Yeah, I guess I posted about it. I had a great time. I just finished filming another movie that was pretty intense. It was just a week or so of work, but it was pretty intense work. And a couple of my friends were like, let's go shoot some photos in the desert. And so we took some cute outfits and a tent, and we had a great time. Red Rocks Canyon State Park is beautiful.
Is that in Colorado?
No, there's one in Colorado, and I think there's one in Utah, but this one is the one in California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's red rocks. They're not as big, but they're really pretty, and there's all kinds of interesting rock formations, not just red rocks, but this particular park. It's like a 10-minute drive from Mojave, from the city of Mojave.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
It's only about 2 hours away, so it's a nice, quick trip. So we left about noon, and then we shot some photos, and me and my friend needed new headshots and like publicity photos. So my friend Roxanne Turpin is a wonderful photographer, and she took some of us. And then we just camped and did the fun camping stuff and cooked over an open flame and stuff.
Wow, that sounds like a nice getaway after a stressful time on set.
Yeah, it wasn't stressful. It's just, always hard work.
Yes. So that movie, is that Curtis?
Curtiz.
Curtiz, there you go.
So Curtiz was about Michael Curtiz. I helped produce that movie as well as acted in that. Played Irene Lee, who was the story editor for Warner Brothers Studios. She found the play Everybody Comes to Rick's that the movie was based on. So that was filmed a while ago. The movie I filmed now, I'm not allowed to talk about yet.
Oh, okay.
I will be soon. I can say it's studio feature and it's a horror movie.
Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. So tell us about where you are from, Miss Bordan. And am I saying that right?
It's Bordan, but if you were to pronounce it in Hungarian, which is where my parents are from, it would be Bordan Lili, and they pronounce they say the last name first. So, yeah, Bordan Lili, but Lili Bordan is my name, is how I guess I pronounce it here. I go between Borden and Bordan, but Borden people think it's with an E-N, and then it's Lili, L-I-L-I, so it's weird spelling all around. It's a pretty simple name, but I spell it kind of weird.
So, where were you born?
I was born in Manhattan, and my parents are both of Hungarian descent. My father owned a French restaurant in Manhattan. We moved out to the suburbs when I was around 6 years old, and then when I finished college, I went to Sarah Lawrence College. I studied some theater, but mostly I studied everything else because my interests are so broad, and I just studied everything. Whatever they were teaching, I took there. But I did take a lot of theater, but where I really got my theater training, my acting training was when I moved to Hungary and did a lot of theater. That's when I started working. I had some TV and some film work before, and I had studied with Susan Batson when I was 16, and I had taken some drama classes in school, but mostly when I started working as an actor was when I was 22, finished school, and then I started working full-time as an actress in Budapest, and then I was filming a lot because a lot of productions are out of Budapest. It's got the best facilities in Central Europe. It's got great crew. Yeah, and then I moved here about 10 years ago. It's actually 10 years, April 1st. That I moved here to LA. So through Hungary, wove my way back through Hungary to Los Angeles.
Gotcha. Now, you sort of hit the ground running when you came back to America. Looking at your resume, you've been pretty busy since you got back. What do you attribute that to?
I have been busy. I feel that it's picking up more now, and I feel like I've had some really busy spurts of work, but I don't know. I just think really loving what I do, really enjoying being on set, trying to find any way that I can to be on set, just, I guess, wishful thinking and willing it.
I think hard work has a lot to do with it.
Definitely. I mean, I've always been in acting classes, even when I'm, even as an actor who's gotten more and more work, I coach on almost everything that I audition for. I have a husband who is amazingly supportive and just taped an audition with me this morning. So it's a lot of different things. I have a great team of people. I have a lot of support. When you work in this business, you get dropped by your agent, or it's time to find a new one, or, it's like I've had a few teams working for me. Like, I think I'm on my third group of people now, but to audition once a week or once every 2 weeks, but to audition several times a week has really, really gotten me into the flow of the work. So even when you're taping auditions and feels like you're working for free and actually sometimes paying money because you're coaching and, putting so much time, and then other people are dedicating and donating their time to you and making sure you succeed and help you to succeed, you really, like, the 1 week of work that I was talking about, that's not just that 1 week of work. Think of like the 50 other auditions. It's been a little while since I booked before then. So it's like, it's all of that work that I've been putting into other characters as well that are enriching the character that finally hits.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Tell me about the audition process. Some people love it. Some people hate it. How do you feel about it?
Well, I think people love it and hate it because it's a love-hate relationship. I mean, we're doing it obviously because we want to be working. So in that sense, it's work, but it's the part of the process. Auditioning is amazing because you have to be auditioning in order to book work. So if you're not auditioning, then you want to be auditioning. If you're auditioning too much and not booking, then that can get frustrating. So that's why the success is really important, having a taste of success and feeling like you're on the right track. Because sometimes you don't know, because if you don't get feedback, which very few actors do get feedback, and even if you get the feedback, it's usually all the same. Well, it wasn't just her, the character wasn't right for her. There's so many people auditioning for the same role that your odds to book work is pretty miraculous. And then as you book more work and people start to get to know you, then it starts to gain this momentum. But for me, it's been very gradual. So I've built my credits wonderfully, and every year I've had a couple of great projects to work on. Maybe people are starting to know me in this town, to know the work that I can do. And hopefully with Book Club, a lot of people will see Book Club, and that'll add to that momentum.
What was it like to work on Book Club? I mean, those were some pretty iconic names. I know you only got to work with, I think, 2 of the stars. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Mary Steenburgen and Craig T. Nelson were so wonderful to work with. They were just so sweet and supportive. And, to show up next to people like that, have to do a scene with them, you have to be prepared and very confident and in your work. And, it was pretty easy with them because they're just such a blast to work with, and they were so fun. So, and then just knowing that the rest of the cast is also so amazing. Jane Fonda, Diane Keaton, Andy Garcia. The list just goes on and on. Candace Bergen, Alicia Silverstone, who I met at the premiere. It's just amazing. And the whole process, I couldn't make it to the cast party, but was able to attend the premiere. And that was just a confirmation for me. And you need that kind of confirmation in a business that is so wrought with rejection. You need to have those moments, and you need to live them up. And so I made sure I had a nice dress, and then I got my hair and makeup done, and then, I represented, you're part of this cast of beautiful, dynamic, successful people, and so I was just happy to be around that energy.
That sounds amazing. Okay, so you were in the first season of Westworld, right?
Yes, that's correct. I was in the first season of Westworld.
And I think that Westworld is shot on film versus digital.
Yeah, that's correct. At least the first season was. I'm pretty sure the second season was too, though.
How, as an actor, is it different at all? Can you tell when you're on set the difference between film and digital when it's being shot?
Not really. If they hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known, because I'm not technically savvy with cameras and things like that. But the fact that I did know did add a sort of sanctity and ritual to the fact. And also it made the stakes higher because you don't have as many takes. I mean, they were pretty generous with takes. We didn't end up using a lot of what I shot. I had 3 scenes and we only used part of one of them just because the story changed, I think, as the season progressed. But definitely it felt really, really special to be shooting on film. I hadn't shot on film in years.
Got you. So earlier you said that your husband is very supportive. Do you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah, I do want to give Michael, his name's Michael. We've been married since the end of August. We got married during the eclipse.
Oh, you're still newlyweds.
We're newlyweds, but we've been together for 5 or 6 years. I don't even remember how long we were friends first, and then we started dating, and then we moved in and did that whole thing. And then, we just recently got married on the beach where we live, and then we went to Budapest and had a wedding there. So he's just amazing, and I think that a person in my business needs someone who is supportive and understands. Even though he's not in the business, he has had tastes of the business. Being in LA, you always come across, and he used to be he's a former model, so he's been in front of the camera, and he just loves what I do, and he loves helping me.
Well, what a sweetheart. It's really nice to hear that you found somebody who's super supportive and you guys really like each other. So that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. You know, we went to the premiere together, and it was really important for me, for him to see that the work that we've been doing, it pays off. And so it was really wonderful to be sitting with all the people in the same movie theater and to have him be there. He really, really, really enjoyed it and was proud of me.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really cool. So your mom was an actress, right?
Yes, she is.
Do you think, or how do you think watching your mother act informed not only your decision to become an actress yourself, but informed maybe your work ethic?
My mother being an actress, well, first of all, it showed me that world, right? It wasn't totally new to me. So in that sense, it was kind of an easy transition into that work. But when I was growing up, my mom wasn't really doing much acting. She was just kind of focused on raising my brother and I. And then when she moved back to Hungary 20 years ago, there was a bit of a lull for her, and she didn't really know how to find her way back into that because she had been gone for 20 some odd years. So about the time that I moved out here to LA is when she started working full-time as an actor. She's part of a repertory theater company in Budapest, so she's on stage several times a week. She films a lot. They direct book her a lot because she's a very well-known actress there. She was famous from the time she was 20 when she did her first movie. She was still in drama school through, the 70s. And then in the 80s, she had me and then my brother, and she moved. So it was a big lull for her. But when we'd go back to Hungary, she would be approached by people who remembered her and loved her work. And that was so important to her. And it made her feel so good and proud and valuable. And so I remember that. And so it made me sad in a way it seemed natural, she was taking care of us. And of course, that's what we want as kids, to be given the full attention. But it also made me sad for her that she wasn't doing it. So it's really, really amazing now to see her back on stage and filming full time.
Wow, that's beautiful. I think it's really sweet.
Thank you, yeah.
I think it's really sweet that your mother's work means so much to you. I think that nowadays we're sort of in a space where we don't really care what the previous generation did because we only care about ourselves or what this new generation is doing now. So I think that's really prescient and sweet of you.
It's important for me that she be happy. She lives in Hungary and she's far away from me, and my brother lives in New York. So the only people that she has at home are her family and then her friends and her colleagues. So it's really wonderful that she has a community and that she's able to stay creative and it keeps her mind sharp. She's still young, she's still beautiful, and she's so talented, and she loves her work. And so it's really nice to share our experiences. And some days we go on auditions together where we're both going set to set, and we know, like she'll be on set during the day and then rush to the theater to do her play and then back on set the next morning. So it can get really hectic for her. And, I'm actually glad about that. That keeps her busy, so she's not bugging me so much to have grandchildren. Which I keep telling her, it's on the way, relax. So it keeps her busy and not missing us so much. So I'm planning a trip home, hopefully at the end of this month or early June. I have a premiere in London. I have a movie called Welcome to Curiosity. It comes out here in the States May 25th, and it's with Stephen Marcus and Amrita Acharya. And then a couple of young actors. One of them was on Game of Thrones. So I'm going to London on June 5th for the London premiere of Welcome to Curiosity. But before I go there, I'm going to make a stop in Hungary to watch her in her new play, and then head back to Hungary, meet my brother there, and then we're going to go on vacation somewhere, take a road trip somewhere, maybe to the Adriatic coast.
Wow, that's really cool. I don't think I've ever gone on vacation with any of my siblings.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
My mom's single, and so she doesn't like to travel with friends so much, so she likes to travel with family. So this is like a perfect opportunity for us all to be together. We don't go home for Thanksgiving. We don't really go home for Christmas. Summers are our thing, our time to be together.
Cool. I think it's awesome that family's that important. Is every working actor in New York, are they required to be on some version of Law and Order?
Well, that's how I started my TV career when I was in New York. I was 18. No, yeah, I was 19 when I did Law and Order Special Victims Unit. That was my first TV gig. And then, not long after that, I was in college and then not really focusing on acting. And then I went to Hungary and filmed nonstop. But yeah, Law and Order definitely is one of those things where like people try for years and their whole lives to get on Law and Order. My mom was on Law and Order. She was on Law and Order, and then she was in my episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that?
It's really cool, yeah.
How many times have you gotten to work with your mother?
Oh my goodness, several. That was one of them. When I was a kid, we did a commercial for Time Life Books together. We did my short film together. Rodney Hunter directed a beautiful little film called The Curve of the Smile. Lisa Roberts, Julia Roberts' sister, played me as an adult. I have to find that film somewhere. That was filmed on film. It was for her Columbia Film School thesis film. And then when I went to Hungary, we worked on a feature together, although we didn't have scenes together. And then we did a play together, The Mandrake. And I think we've worked together on other things as well. So we've worked together quite a bit.
Now, you said that when you went back to Hungary and worked on a film together but had no scenes together, might any of us have heard of that movie? And might it take place somewhere else? Like on another planet?
Are you thinking of The Martian?
I am thinking of The Martian. Wasn't that filmed in Hungary?
Yes, it was. But no, the film that brought me to Hungary that my mom and I were in, we were in a couple of films before that. The Martian was filmed in 2014. So I actually had to go back I was back there for American Girl, which was a Disney film. And then I stayed for The Martian. And my mom actually played Matt Damon's mom, and she filmed these beautiful scenes Skyping with him from Mars, but the movie was just too long, and they cut a bunch of scenes, and hers were cut, and she was really sad about that. So we didn't have any scenes in that. I played a reporter, so I had just like 3 little bits of moments in the movie.
Well, she must have been heartbroken. That would have been really cool. What do you think about when things hit the cutting room floor? I know different actors have different opinions about your work, not making it up there.
Well, we're all there. Actors can be pretty, and I'm saying this with the most possible love, but we're performers and we like to have attention. And so when we're given the attention and then that doesn't make the cut, we take it personally, but rarely is it because you did a horrible job or you weren't good enough, even though that's where we go mentally. Rarely ever personal. In the case of my mom, it wasn't that she wasn't good enough. She did a beautiful job. She showed me the scene. I think I helped her prepare for the audition.
So, in the movie that I saw a couple of days ago, Book Club, you played a dance instructor, and I was wondering, was that all acting, or are you a dance instructor?
I studied dance a lot of my life. Ballet, modern ballet, tap, everything growing up. And then when I moved to LA, actually through my whole career, through my whole life, I took dance classes. And then my husband and I took a couples dance class. I mean, I had taken ballroom dancing as a child and as a young adult, but we refreshed that. And so that gave me an understanding of the dynamics of dance and the importance of, or the ability of dance to bring people together. And then I started teaching dance to children with autism through an organization called Guidance Autism. My friend Carice Hutchinson started this organization in 2010, and I've been with her from the beginning, teaching, building programs in schools. And so I am a dance teacher of sorts, and I do have dance training. And then for the film, I actually went to a dance class and just on my own, just to refresh. But yeah, I am a dancer. Like, I've grown up as a dancer, but I'm not a professional dancer. I'm not at that level. But I know enough to know what a dance instructor does and is like, if that makes sense. And this one was a particularly, well, we'll have to let the audience see what kind of dance instructor she is.
Yeah, go see it, guys. It's a really good movie.
I loved it. Not just because I'm in it, but I actually laughed and cried, and so did my husband, and he's very picky, and just the endings and the romances that happen in it are so touching and so real.
There's this part that made me well up, and my wife looked at me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, are you crying?" And I was like, "Shut up." It's
Which part was that?
well, it was toward the end. I'll cut this part out, but it was when Craig T. Nelson came in.
Oh my God, my husband was crying.
Yes.
You know where else I cried?
Where?
You know where else I cried? When, let's cut this out too. When,
Yes. Yes. It was just such a good movie. It was so fun. I think everybody should see it. I just, there's not a whole lot of medium range fun movies out anymore. It's all superhero or $300 million features or the tiny little ones that cost, $500,000 and nobody goes to see them because there's no push behind it. So I think it was really sweet to see a good, nice middle budget movie that was done so well.
thank you. Yeah, I think it's, if like, not just because I'm in it, but if I were to go to a movie theater and look at the showings, I would want to watch this because I know it would make me feel wonderful. Definitely catharsis. There's definitely a lot of love, a lot of laughter during and after. So if you want to leave the theater feeling fulfilled and happy and energized and impassioned, which it does if you're a couple who's been together for a while, or if even if you're on a new date, but you want to talk about things that really matter afterwards. It sparks conversation about relationships. It's really beautiful. If you're a mother-daughter, or just if you're a son, like I had a son write me on Twitter, a man write me on Twitter that he took his mom. So I know a lot of people who are in book clubs are going to go.
I think almost everybody that was in my showing was in a book club. It was a bunch. It was a bunch of, oh, remember when we did that too? Or, hey, that's just like us. There was a bunch of, I'm not used to a lot of talking in the movie theater. And there sort of was a lot of talking, but it was all because everybody was relating to some scene or to some part of the movie. It was, even though there was a lot of talking, it wasn't intrusive or anything. It was so much fun. If anything was
it's like almost like an interactive experience.
Yeah. And I would say that if anything was intrusive about the film, it was that whenever the whole theater laughed, we would maybe miss the first part of the next line because everybody was laughing. Good problem to have.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. That's not a bad problem to have.
It is not. So we talked about film and we've talked about TV. Do you do any stage acting still?
The last play I did was The Shawl by David Mamet. It was production in a theater that I had worked with before called Moth Theater Company, LA. And that was the last stage experience. And I haven't really done any since. I think it's because my best stage experience was definitely the Blue Room at that theater company. And it was an ensemble piece and it was a great team of people. And then the second experience wasn't as great. And so I just haven't sought out that same experience. You have to be really lucky to work with people who, it's just really fortunate to find people to work with that you work with well. I mean, I work well with everyone, I'd say. But if there's one person who's not nice or not kind or not loving, it's really tough. And so that experience kind of soured my experience of theater, and I had put money in, and I got some of it back. And so I think the next time I do theater, it would be with a very professional company that's in a really nice, comfortable theater where people can sit for hours and not be uncomfortable and just be. I mean, I would do a play at the Moth Theater again if the opportunity arose, just because it's such a good theater and such wonderful actors are there. But I would be more careful, and also it's a time commitment. In LA, it's difficult unless you're on a show and when you're going to be filming. You're not going to be filming for the next 2 months. Unless you know that, then it's pretty hard because I'm auditioning all the time and I could have to pick up and go the next day. So it's really uncomfortable to be rehearsing for a play and doing shows over the weekends when you might have to leave. So, and I'm at that stage where I might, there's a couple of things right now that I might have to pack up and go. So I would love to do theater again, but it would be under very specific circumstances.
Right. Well, that all makes sense. I interviewed the co-artistic director for the Antaeus Theater Company in downtown Glendale, and he gave me a tour, and he was a super sweet guy. And that's a theater company that's been around kind of for a long time, and they have, they have a bunch of people, and so they have a bunch of understudies and everything because, like you said, just about everybody there has to pick up and leave at a moment's notice. So there's always somebody to step in and fill in. So if you ever get the inkling, go check out Antias Theater Company in downtown Glendale.
Thank you. Thank you. I should. You know what? I missed it. I should.
Super nice guy. I can give you his info later if you want to.
I would love that. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I know that you have a heart out, and I really appreciate you taking the time. Real quick, before you go, will you tell everybody where they can find you on the social medias?
Yes, of course. Thank you for asking. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Lili Bordan, LiliBordan. And then I have a website if you want to check that out. My social media is on my website, so you can just go to my website, lilibordan.com, and just link from there. And I also have a Facebook page. And I try to post different things on, different pictures, different projects, different things, stuff too, like about my trip. So you can check that out there as well.
Very cool. And lastly, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that I didn't bring up or didn't ask you?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so there's my newest film coming out is Welcome to Curiosity. And it comes out on several platforms on May 25th. So if you have a chance, check that out as well. My film Live or Die in Honda is now available on iTunes and Vudu and Amazon. So you can check that out as well.
Awesome. Everybody check that out. Her social media tags, her website, and those movies that she just mentioned will be in the show notes. So scroll down and check those things out. Thank you so much, Lili. I really, really appreciate you taking the time. And I'm sorry that, we didn't kind of connect, but that was, mostly on me. So, again, I apologize.
No. We made it up. So
yeah, we did.
Thank you. That was perfect. I was running out of stuff to talk about.
You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Go kiss your husband and have a great trip.
Thank you. Bye, Steve.
Bye-bye. Hey, guys. If you like what I'm doing, rate and review the podcast on iTunes and wherever else you're getting the podcast. And if you do order things from Amazon, it would really help me out if you use that Amazon banner that's on the website at fascinationstreetpod.com. And just click through whenever you're buying stuff from Amazon. You can click through the first time and then save that to your favorites or bookmark it. And every time you use it, you don't have to go to the website to get there. I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy. Opening music is the song Magnolia from the 2014 album Intransigence, used with permission from Douglas Miles Clark. Closing music is Apollo from the 2001 album Into the Known by the band Sapphire. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to know a little bit about our guest. We'll see you next time on Fascination Street.